returning. Welcome back. And yeah, so 1 year in New York. I was just talking to my dad. Well, I was talking to a couple different friends and stuff this week about it because I was like, "Dang, can you believe it's already been a year?" And they just still can't believe I'm still in my car. It's crazy because I remember back when I went to California, I was walking across LA, and that was so much harder because I had to, not every night, but like a lot of nights, I had to sleep outside and endure the weather and, um, sleeping on the ground. I mean, it was wild, but it was so much more intensive, and I would have sleep deprivation from not getting rest. And so I remember when I was walking across LA, my internal goal was just make it 100 days. Just make it 100 days. And then you can give up if you want to give up. So my goal the whole time I was walking was the 100-day mark. I was like, if nothing's happened at 100 days, I will go home. And literally the Lord opened the door on day 98. So it was like down to the wire of my internal goal. I think this time around with having, hey, if you're in the chat, you want to leave a message or talk about anything, just drop it in there. But I think this time around when I came to New York, I didn't have, because the car is so much more comfortable. It's not, I mean, when it's hot, extremely hot or extremely cold, yeah, it sucks, but it's nothing compared to the exhaustion that I was facing during that 90 days of walking across LA. So I haven't felt the urgency, like that urgency to just make it this long, just make it this long, like I did back when I was in California. Like that internal deadline, I guess. Um, which is nice. I mean, it's nice to just go with the flow and trust the Lord and let Him lead and not put pressure on yourself or Him to like do something by a certain set time. But I just couldn't believe it's already been a year. I mean, it's wild to me. I'm already gearing up for, we're in fall. We're starting to be in fall now and gearing up for a second winter. And I've got some things in the pipeline, like as far as like, you know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in this car, basically. But, you know, the expectation I have on God or God doing something, I think is a lot different this time around because I feel like He's been doing something internal this time. Um, it's not actually what He can do for me, but like really, I'm trying my hardest this whole year to yield what the Lord is doing in me. And I think a lot of times we concentrate so hard on blessings and provision and, you know, outward manifestations of God's presence when really it's the internal work that it needs to be like top priority, right? And it's like however long this process is going to take, I'm okay with it, because I know that from a year ago till now, I feel like I feel like He's done some like intensive, like a surgeon goes in and does heart surgery. He's been doing that on my heart, my psyche, my memories. Like He's been reconstructing me in a deep, profound way. And a lot of it I haven't even talked about on here because it's been deeply personal. It's been hard. It's been, I mean, at some points He unraveled me completely. And so to think back on my mindset even a year ago, how different I feel now, um, is night and day. And so I think like coming to New York, I was just going through so much because of all the church exposures and just really the whole I hate using the word deconstruction because but that's what it was. I was deconstructing not from God, but from the church and the lies that we've been taught, the Branhamism that has infiltrated the church, the false teachers that have infiltrated our church, the false doctrines because these things don't just infiltrate the church, they infiltrate us, right? When we're taught lies about generational curses, when we're taught lies about Christians can be possessed by demons, when we're taught these indoctrinal lies, right? This pre-trib rapture, it's infiltrated, it gets into the core of your being. And not saying I had all of those things because I didn't. I'm just saying these are just examples of what can infiltrate our soul. you have to deconstruct from stuff that doesn't belong and get back to what the Bible says. And yeah, and then health wise too, I had I had a lot of issues that I didn't even know were going on, until a few months ago. And the past 5 years, I didn't even go to a doctor. I haven't even been to a doctor in 5 years. So to be able to get all my health stuff done while I'm here, my gallbladder taken out. I had a whole surgery while living in my car. That's crazy. And no pain. The Lord took care of all of it. And then yesterday, I had to go to the eye doctor because it's been a while. Uh, and then I they told me, well, I got yelled at because I'm supposed to wear my glasses all the time and I never wear them. So of course my eyesight's worse than it was, right? My fault. I hate wearing glasses. I hate it. I detest it. Mainly because like I feel like they slide. I don't know. It's just aggravating. Like it's aggravating, and but I need to wear them obviously, and so I got to go get new glasses and because my prescription's changed and all that. But also Monday I have to go see a surgeon to get my eye surgery. I need surgery in both eyes. So it'll be like an in and out procedure, like the way my gallbladder was. But it's so funny because like I've known I've needed the surgery for a while, but like I just was too scared to get it before because I didn't want anybody cutting my eyeballs. And someone had told me that they take your eyeballs out for the surgery and cut the muscles behind your eyes. And so that even more scared me. So I didn't get the surgery done. But then I found out from the doctor that they don't actually take your eyeballs out. They cut, but they do cut through the white of your eyes to get to the muscle behind your eyes to cut the muscle. And which is just as terrifying. And so I was so scared. I was like, I'm still scared about this. I'm more scared about this than the gallbladder. I mean, it's eye surgery. And so, but because the gallbladder surgery went so well, I am just going to put my faith in Jesus that he brought me here to take care of the stuff that really urgently, basically, if I don't get the surgery done, I'm going to lose all function in this eye. This eye, the muscle is atrophied. It's just like not working. I mean, it doesn't even move. And I really have to focus to make my eye do what it's supposed to do. And so as I get older, it's getting worse. And so I need, but I have it in both eyes. So I have to get both eyes cut open, which is very scary. But the Lord showed me a few weeks ago, I had my whole organ taken out and no pain whatsoever. So if he can walk with me through that, he can walk with me through this. And I trust him, and I just trust him. And so, yes, I've been here a year. I don't have a deadline of like, if you don't move, then I'm going home. Right now I'm just working on getting healthy again and you know, getting all the stuff taken care of that I could never do. I could never do if I was somewhere else, if I was back home or anywhere else. So, like I said, I'm just going with the flow, trusting the Lord. And it feels good not to have him on a timetable. I think in California, that timetable was a very necessary thing because, Lord have mercy, I don't know if I could have endured any more days than I did. And I mean, it was brutal. And this has not been that exhaustion. It hasn't been the mental warfare, the exhaustion. It's been an internal battle with myself. It's been a deconstruction process within my heart. It's been an emotional battle for sure, but nothing that has been physically demanding. Or I mean, the cold weather sucks, the hot weather sucks, and that, I guess most people couldn't endure that, but me, baby, I'm a soldier. So I just do what I do, and that stuff doesn't bother me. Um so yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens next, and to be patient with the Lord to see, what he's got in store, and just take it one day at a time. I'm not in any hurry. He has proved to me that he's not in any hurry. And I think the internal work that we need to work on in our own hearts and minds is far more important than what God does for us or how he uses us. I think modern Christianity, I was reading an article about this um, the other day, and it was about how evangelical doctrine has taught us about nothing but the blessings and the prosperity of God. And and really, if you get back to like Orthodox Christianity, which they have like in Russia and places like that, which their core religion of Orthodox Christianity has been the same for a long time. It hasn't changed, but they're so focused on the killing the flesh, right? Hey, Katie. Hey, Ashley. Um, and it's all about dying to self. That your Christian walk is not about what God can do for you, but it's about how you can get formed to the image of the cross and get formed to the image of God. And I think that that's what we need to get back to. It's really not about our ministry or what we do for Him or how anointed we are or our gifts, or none of that is important. I mean, I guess it's important a little bit, but it's not the most important thing, right? And we have taken away the most important thing, which is the internal work that God does in us, and made it about all these outward things, the blessings from God, the prosperity, the anointing, the healings, the miracle signs and wonders we get so hyper focused on. And it's like, you can do miracle signs and wonders, but you can't, you know, give a couple bucks to the guy on the corner that's living in filth. You know what I mean? So it's like it's this false image of piety, right? It's this false piety, and so I think the core of our heart should be, you know, what is pure religion is the orphans and the widows and the poor, taking care of them. That's pure religion, right? And everything else is vanity to me. And so deconstructing from the church as we know it, not the true church, but the churches we've grown up in, has been vitally important to me, to my walk with Jesus, and to get all that fluff and nonsense and vanity, things that are not important, out of me. What is the most important thing? And let's keep that the most important thing. Hey, Katie. Hey, guys, if y'all, I know I need a microphone for real, for real, for real. Girl. Yes. I looked for one. Actually, I went to Target and I went to somewhere else the other day, and I found a new phone mount for my phone because I broke my other one, but like I couldn't find a microphone anywhere. So I guess I'm gonna have to order one on Amazon, but I just like I haven't done it yet. So yeah, and y'all did such a good job with praying for my other surgery. Please pray for this one. So I meet with the surgeon on Monday, next Monday, and they're gonna schedule the surgery then, I guess. But you guys, you know, like the last time it went off. I mean, it was so good. It was. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better doctor. I mean, it didn't hurt. It's already healed. Those stitches are already healed. Everything. You can barely tell where the incisions were. So this surgery is so important too because it affects. I'm an avid reader. I have not been able to read, just sit down and read, in like at least 6 or 7 months where I can fully focus without it hurting me. It literally gives me a migraine whenever I try to read. So I feel like Satan has been attacking me. So I listen to the Bible on tape and I have to listen to stuff all the time, which I don't like doing. I like reading the words on a real Bible, on a real page. Like that is that's what I love, and I have not been able to do it because my eyes are so bad right now. And so this surgery is going to mean the world to me. Like it's going to be a game changer. So I appreciate you guys praying for that. And let's see, what else? Oh, here we go again. I feel like there's one more thing I was going to talk about. Maybe not. If you guys have any questions or anything, if you want to say something, go ahead. If not, call it a day. I just want to say, you know, you can do anything if God is with you. Like, I talked to my dad today, and he was saying, he's like, I can't believe you made it a whole year in your car. Like, that is wild. Like, he could not believe it. And he's like, don't you want to get a bigger place or get into a bigger place? And I'm like, honestly, it really doesn't bother me. I think when I walked across LA, I lost a lot of that shame and embarrassment you feel when you're homeless. Like when people are looking at you and judging you because you have your suitcase. I went through so much stripping during that process. Nothing like that bothers me. Like nothing like when people look at me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that girl's living in her car." Doesn't affect me whatsoever because the I mean, those things used to affect me, but after you've been through something so hardcore as that, literally I could care less what anybody thinks. I will stand outside my car if I don't feel like going to the gym with a jug of water and just wash my hair in the street. I don't care. Like it doesn't phase me, right? Where some people have that like I guess propriety or whatever, the like, what will people think? They have that what will people think mindset. So I don't have that. And so actually just being in the car in this space, like I'm a minimalist to my core. Everything I own is in this car, and I have room for other stuff. Like I have plenty of room, and I if I don't use it, I give it away. I don't keep it, and I buy stuff that's like quality, so hopefully it won't break or whatever. But stuff that I actually use, and preferably stuff that has multiple uses. Um, and I'm really good about. I have to have a routine every single day. I do like the same things. I have to I make up my bed, take out my trash. Like every day I have the same, and I wipe everything down. And I keep it really clean in here. Some days it gets a little junky, like piled up, but I mean I just have to reorganize. Um, but the way that I live is does not affect me whatsoever. Actually, I prefer living tiny. It's so I don't know. It's very convenient. It's just it doesn't take much effort. It's like okay, and then the cost associated. I mean, my bills, my car insurance. I have to pay that every month. So $100 a month, and my house, my car is paid for. So it's so freeing, right? Yeah. Yes, like Katie, exactly. It's so freeing to live like this. Like it really is. Like there's no baggage. There's no um weight of the world on my shoulder of like, oh, I gotta pay this bill and this bill and this bill and like, just to exist. And then I pay for this house and I spend all my time at work and I'm never at home because I'm paying for the house that I don't live in because I'm always working, right? That doesn't make sense to me. So if I had kids, if I had a husband and a kids or whatever, and that was my life, I would have a house. I don't need that. If I had a pet, I wouldn't be in my car because I wouldn't put a pet in here. But for me, just me, this is fine. And I have, like, I remodeled it, so I should show y'all. I don't know if it's clean. I don't know if I put in a new dresser and a new pantry, so it holds all my food and then all my clothes. And everything matches. It's so tiny and cute, but you know what? It's like it's just me, and it's like literally everything I need. And so what I do is I take out all my summer clothes when summer's over, bag those up, and then I put in all my winter clothes, and then I rotate it. And when the seasons change, so all my clothes that I wear in my dresser, and the other clothes, I need to get a roof rack. But for now, I just put all the winter clothes or summer clothes or whatever in a like pretty much a waterproof suitcase and wrap it with a tarp and then strap it to the roof. But I need to get a cargo carrier or a roof rack. That's one thing I do need. So that I can just rotate out the stuff that I don't need during that season, like my winter gear in the summertime or whatever. But man, I'm telling you, it's so easy to live like this. Like for me personally, um, I think the hardest part is what is the hardest part? I don't even know. I think the extreme temperatures. That's the hardest part. But I will say I hate having short hair. Like I got my hair cut because I miss the dreadlocks. Because with the dreadlocks, I don't have to fix my hair every day. I just wake up and my hair's already fixed. So I only have to do my hair like once every 2 months, and then I just wash it once a week. It was so low maintenance. So I miss that so much. Like I miss that more than anything. Having short hair, I have to brush it or fix it or like wash it because if you go into public, you have to like you can't be having crazy hair. So on that aspect, I hate this hair. Like I hate having natural hair. I miss my dreadlocks so much. But that's a pain. Like when you have to like, look respectable when you just like hop out of bed and like you need to go run down the street. I mean, so it takes a little bit more effort now that I have short hair, but the dreads are much more conducive to this lifestyle. But I think like that might be the hardest part. Like, so when I want to go shower, I just have to drive over to the Planet Fitness and park and find parking to go in and take a shower. But I keep my gym bag and everything's like right where I can grab it. So it's super easy. I mean, it takes a little bit more effort to live like this, but all in all, it's super easy. Um, like I said, it's not the burden. Oh yeah, the toilet thing. We won't talk about that. I'll spare you the details. It's not terrible, but it's not like a bigger van would be great. Let's just say that. But mostly I park near this porta john, so and that sucks too. But finding a place to park near bathroom is yeah, like that's sometimes a headache. But that's why I love those tall vans that have the bathrooms built in because I'm like, yeah, one day I'm gonna get one of those. Like, yeah, but yeah, just like parking near a place where you can run in and go to the restroom or a porta john or something. That's where you gotta park. So by the park or something, like you can just. That's where I stayed all winter. Was a place right beside the porta john, so I could just run out anytime I needed to. Um, but yeah, I mean it's so simple. And then like in the wintertime especially, no one knows I'm in here. The way it's very incognito. My dad was gonna sell me his big van, like his tall. It's like a I forget what they're called. The conversion vans. I don't know. It's like almost I could stand up almost all the way completely. Maybe I had to tilt my head just a little bit. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a. Forget the name of the. It wasn't like the Ford. Hold on. It wasn't like that. Like the tall van, but it was tall enough. Like it was bigger than taller than what I have. And he was gonna sell me that van, and I was gonna give him. I was just gonna trade vehicles with him and take his van and give him this car and swap it out. But this car had brand new tires and a backup camera, and it's a Honda, so it's really good on gas, and it has 3 rows of seating. So I just took out 2 of the seats on one side, and and so it's way more stealthy than his big old van, and driving it around is more it's easy to get around in traffic and stuff. So I didn't take him up on his offer because the van was an older model. Even though I'd have a lot more room in the back, I decided to go with this because it was better on gas and yeah, roof yes, Katie. This was better on gas and more stealthy. And it had the backup camera, so I can back up because that's almost a necessity in New York. So I'm glad I stuck with this decision, and especially in the winter, like literally in the winter, I have these. Oh, I don't know if you can see how it kind of. I don't know. I have these curtains, and they go across all the way. So if you look in the cab, you can't see into the back at all, and that keeps the heat back there too. So and then I have insulation on all the windows, so that keeps the heat out, or it keeps the heat in depending on what time of year it is. So between that, the back is completely blacked out, and so the backup camera is super handy. But yeah, like it's just a simple way to live, and I love that. The backup, the the black pen things. Are you talking about back here? Oh, okay. So the top of my roof was coming down, like from the humidity and the whatever. So instead of replacing it or re-gluing it, I just bought all these tacks and I tacked it back up there. But I'm going to I have a project I want to do. I found like this cool black and white tapestry, and I want to get it and cut it to fit and then glue it to the top so it'll be like a pattern on the roof. But yeah, that's there. So that's temporary. I'll take out all the pins when I do the new project. I want to get artsy in here, but it's gonna be a 2-person job. I'm probably gonna get my friend Giovanni to help me. Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I like to do cool stuff. I like to make cool stuff. But the pins actually look pretty cool in here. But I especially when I had dreadlocks, they would get stuck in my hair all the time. I would catch my hair, so they were kind of aggravating. Yeah. Well, they still kind of get stuck on my head sometimes when I raise up too far, get in and out right here, like in the See, but yeah, I think after a year too, I've learned how to. At first, I didn't know what I was doing, so it took me almost a whole year to kind of figure this lifestyle out. Because at first, it was just like I had watched videos on it, and I had like seen a lot of van life videos and all that. But like now that I'm actually living it, it's like, oh no, like I totally understand. Like you gotta have two laundry bags, so you know what I mean. Like you put all your dirty clothes, and when it gets full, you hit the laundromat. You gotta stay on your little clean cycle. You know, get up every morning, make up your bed, shake everything out. Like you just have to, like, there's certain things you have to do. And then learning, like, getting these screens were a game changer. I got these screens off of, they wrap around your door, and I have one on the sunroof too. um like, I don't know if you can see it up there, but they keep the bugs out, and then they keep the UV light out, and they let the wind in. So learning about things like that, learning where to park, learning like where not to park, learning just the best. Like, you have to get in a groove that works for you. You have to be around, find a group of people that you can park near, that you all feel safe together, a neighborhood that feels safe, because literally, me being in the car, I can park anywhere. If I had a bigger van, or RV, like my friends, they have to park in a very specific area. They can't just park anywhere. Like, I could literally park anywhere. Um, so I have more of an advantage on that aspect of it. So there's things that you have to think about, like when like, if you do van life, like, you have to think what kind of vehicle would work best for you. I actually, in the back, I have room for a kitchen if I wanted to add like a little propane grill, which I should do. I just never did because I didn't really think I would be in here for this long. But I could add like a propane stovetop in the back and have room for that, and I could cook back there, like, with the hatch open or something. I do have a tea kettle now, and I can make noodles. I can make oatmeal. I can make, whatever. I just have a tea kettle. I can make hot. I have a whole giant canister of just hot tea. So I use that a lot. And that's so convenient. Betty Jean bought me my tea kettle because I was like, I need a tea kettle for like months. But it's just a cup, and it has a lid that screws on, and you plug it in. I have a power source. I have electricity in here, a power box, and it charges while I drive. So I just drive across town. It'll charge up my power box, and I can charge my cell phone on there. I can run fans. I can heat up my tea kettle. So I get it's called an EcoFlow, and it's just like a generator box. And so if I fully charge it, it'll last a couple days. But I need to get a 200-watt solar panel for the roof. If I Sorry, a giant buzz. If I put a 200-watt solar panel on the roof, that would help me a lot. So there's two things I need: a roof rack and a 200-watt solar panel, and then my life would literally be perfect. But that's on my list of like things I need. But yeah, the box, the electricity, I couldn't do it without that. Like, I definitely have to have the electricity coming in. So it's very helpful. And they do make like diesel heaters and different kind of buddy heaters. If I had a bigger vehicle, I would use that. Since I don't have a bigger vehicle to ventilate the fumes out of. Like, if I had a bigger van, I could run a buddy heater or a diesel heater, but I don't. So that's why I do the blackout curtains across the front. Like, I'll heat up the car with a regular car heat, and then lock it in with the curtains, and it stays pretty warm like overnight. And then you know that's how I survived all winter. And I had a 0-degree sleeping bag and quilts, and I was fine. As long as I was under the blankets, I was perfectly fine. But the second I had to get up to pee, I was just thankful that I trained in the cold plunge all year, because it was freezing cold. So good thing I like being cold, because like, it was brutal some nights, getting up, and like, you can see your breath, and you're just like, oh no, I don't want to go pee right now. But you're 42 and you gotta pee all the time. So but anyway, yes, Kate. Oh, Betty Jean, she's still fighting the good fight. Like, she's hanging in there. I talked to her the other day. We had a great conversation. Thank you for asking. She is she's definitely, she needed some encouragement, but she's wanting to fight this thing, and I just, like, I stand with her, let's fight it. So I tried calling her yesterday, but she was really sleepy. I think her treatments are just like wearing her out. So I call her until she like answers the phone, and I'm like, I just need to hear your voice that you're okay. And she's like, I'm okay. I'll call you back. And then when she's feeling good, she'll call me and talk to me. So, but yeah, it's hard because she's doing the treatments and they're just wiping her out. So anyway, yeah, like my life is completely wholeheartedly dependent on him, and it is crazy because like some days I my bills are probably under like 500 a month. I keep everything, and that's including food, that's including gas, that's including insurance, phone bill, everything, so I can live under $500 a month, give or take. um so but my that doesn't mean I have like all 500 at one time, right? So some days I'll get like $50 and I'm like, okay, and then I just have to figure out what are we gonna do. And then I'll be like, okay, well, if I put 25 in my gas tank, and then I'll be good for next week. And then I have to prioritize every single day, like what is the most important thing. And then God, the next, whenever I need something else, it's like, okay, Lord, I got this thing, and then somehow it gets done. And I think 1 month I got kind of behind, where I wasn't even like maintaining that minimum level that I do every month, and God caught me up on that. So um even my daily substance, like I literally live day to day. But I just tried to like every time I get money, I'm like, I don't know exactly what it's for. I just have to sit down and look at everything and be like, okay, well, this is due, the next thing this due, so I'll prioritize what's due next and then pay that. And then if I have money left over, I'll go put it in my gas tank, or just do what I got to do. You just juggle. You just like become a professional juggler when it comes to that. But God works it all out. But it's literally just trusting him, not only with that, but your safety. Like when you sleep at night, I sleep with the back hatch not all the way open, but like cracked, and so I have to trust that nobody's gonna decide to open the back of the hatch while I'm asleep. I do sleep with like pepper spray right beside my face. And when I say pepper spray, I mean like, hold on, I actually have it right here. I have like, thanks, Jen. I have this. It just has like a safety handle on it, but it can sleep. I can sleep with it on my wrist if I wanted to. If I felt really unsafe, some nights I've slept with it like this, and that way, if I need to get to it quickly, I can. I don't have to like find it in my sleep, But I keep it right where my hand. Like I know, like muscle memory, I could grab it in my sleep if I needed to, but I've never needed to. And I sleep with the door. In the summertime, the door is open like halfway. It's like open at least that much, and all the windows are down. So like they just have screens over them. So I mean, I sleep like a baby. I don't wake up unless somebody makes a loud noise. I do not wake up. I don't even. But see, a lot of that stuff. When I was walking across LA and I was sleeping outside, I was too scared to go to sleep for the first like probably 15 times I slept outside. And so because I was too afraid to sleep, because I didn't trust the Lord, I didn't trust that he was with me, that he would protect me, I was wearing myself out with sleep deprivation to the point where I couldn't walk the next day. I would be like stumbling into the street trying to walk because I was so exhausted. 2 and 3 and 4 days with no sleep sometimes, because I just couldn't hold on. I just couldn't relax. I just could not get myself to sleep until one night. I remember the exact night. The Lord led me to this place, and like, it's a long story, but he led me to this place, and I curled up against this fence so nobody could see me. And I remember I woke myself up snoring that night, and I woke up refreshed the next day. And I mean, I slept so good, but I was so worn out. It had probably been 3 or 4 days with no sleep, and I was exhausted, and no money was coming in. So there was no hotel money coming in. And I was just like, I have to sleep. Like my body was breaking, my mind was breaking down at that point. And I remember after that night of just totally like snoring my butt off, I realized, oh, the Lord's with me. Like he's not going to let anything happen to me. And I've never had an issue sleeping since then. So, and it's so weird because sometimes like there'll be people like near my car, but I'll wake up like it feels like before they're even aware of me, I'm aware of them. It's like a angel tap me on my shoulder and be like, wake up, just be alert of your surroundings, you know. So I've had a couple instances like that where people were like near my car, but I was aware of them before they were aware of me. And so, but I'm a deep sleeper, so, and I dream almost every night. So like when I sleep, I sleep. I don't mess around. I get my sleep. But yeah, I feel totally protected. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's a little. I mean, but I've never had to protect myself, you know. So like I have weapon. I mean, I guess I have weapons in here too if I needed them. I hopefully can just spray pepper spray and somebody will leave, you know. But um, I haven't had to use anything. I don't even think about that stuff really. I mean, I think there's a difference between New York City in 2025 and New York City in the 80s. If this was New York City in the 80s, I would be sleeping with like two pistols, you know, two guns, like ready to go. But like New York is not like that anymore, really. Oh, the digital ID. Yeah, like okay, so I used to be heavily uh, I've known about digital ID for many years because I used to invest in crypto a lot and do research studying the companies that develop the crypto and the ultimate plans of, you know, them putting everything on the blockchain and all that stuff. So digital ID goes along with their new blockchain technology that they want to implement. They want to get rid of the U.S. dollar as the goal as the world backed system, and they want to put everybody on. They want to put the whole world on a one world currency that's gold backed, but it's going to be a gold backed cryptocurrency. And part of that, in order to do that, you have to be on the you know, the digital ID system, Katie. So like um so it all goes together. So once they crash the US dollar or whatever, however they're going to do it, probably war, because war is how they really reset economies. If you look back in history, usually there's a war and then it resets the economy for those countries. So when you'll notice a trend in U.S. Or any history, that when a nation starts to go bankrupt, then they go to war. Now they're reset, right? So it's a pattern that happens over and over again. So my theory, and like I said, it's only a theory, is that we will end up in some war, and then afterwards, after the war, they will probably as part of a peace treaty or something. Russia, China, U.S. will all come into an agreement with a gold-backed world cryptocurrency, and it won't be any more petrodollar or whatever. It'll just be a universal dollar that's gold backed that everyone can partake in. And that's when I think we're going to go in to see what the Bible calls the one world order, the one world currency, and then the world is no longer like the USA and Great Britain and all the. It'll just be territories. It'll be different. It'll be like the Ten Kings ruling. So that's my big picture theory on what is going to happen. Um, so it's all, but it's all part of it. You have to have the digital ID. That's why the hold on, what's his name? Elon Musk is putting the link, what is it, Starlink in the sky, so that the nations like Africa that are very poor, or like in South America, that very poor nations that don't have access to internet, now they'll have access to internet, because to be part of the new world system, you're gonna have to have internet. So so that's why you see Starlink. Elon Musk is a builder in this new world, right? He's a builder of like the innovation that's coming to bring in the market. Musk is not the Antichrist, but he's the builder of the technology that's going to bring it in. Um, you know, there's certain cryptocurrencies. I would say there's like, I don't know, 10,000 different cryptocurrencies right now. It will be scaled back to, there will probably be a handful, maybe 5 cryptocurrencies when it's all said and done. Right now, there's no legislation, there's no rules, so it's like the wild wild west, and people can do whatever they want. That's why you see all the pump and dump schemes, the you know, the that's why you see all the Doge coins, the joke coins, the meme coins. That would if it wasn't the Wild Wild West, you would see none of that. Once regulation comes in and banks regulate, or the lawmakers regulate everything for the banks will once again own all the cryptocurrency and be in control of all the money. And not saying they aren't now, but officially. And then the digital ID is part of that cryptocurrency system, and so you have to have it to be a part of. That's why you can't buy or sell if you don't take the mark. So to be in the crypto universe, and see, by then also your mortgage will be on the blockchain, your car note will be on the blockchain, your car title will be on the blockchain. They can tokenize anything and put it on the blockchain. And so if they want to erase you, they can just erase you out of the system. If they want to block you from using their system because you're using your First Amendment, there will be no First Amendment by that point. But whatever it is, like, they will just delete you from the system, and then you'll have no access to it. You won't be able to buy or sell because you're not going along with their rules. So yeah, it's very like brave new world that we're walking into, and that's what the robots are for. That's what the yeah. I don't know if you should buy gold. That's between you and the Lord, what you should do with your money. Like, honestly, I live day to day. I can barely buy snacks, you know what I mean? So I don't think about investing, because I think the Lord's trained me in that way to live so dependent on him, because we're going into a time where you have to be dependent on the Lord. If you are dependent on your investments, your 401k, your gold, whatever it is that you're dependent on, it will fail you in the future. And so if you don't learn now to just trust God with everything, and I mean everything, every part of your life, like, you're gonna have a really, really, really hard time in the future, right? And so if you can give up everything now, it'll be a lot easier for you in the future to not sell out to that system, because what they'll do is they'll use your kids against you. They'll manipulate, anything that you desire, anything that you need, that you think you need. It's not really a need, but anything you think you need to maintain your normal life, to keep normalcy, they'll use it against you to keep you into that system. When you discover that you can be free, and free indeed, and totally reliant on the Lord, that's a freedom no one can take from you, So I don't rely on investments or gold or anything but Jesus. And so, yeah, I guess, I mean, if you do buy gold, you should buy like actual tangible gold, like literally not a piece of paper that says, yeah, I own gold in some vault somewhere. No, you should go and buy the little pressed little bars of gold and just keep them in somewhere safe, if you're going to do that. Like, if you think that's important. But I always tell people, can you eat gold? I would buy stuff if I'm going to invest in my future, I want food in my future. So I'm going to go buy some food that's not going to go bad for 30 years, and I'm going to bury it where nobody knows, and I'm going to not tell anyone that I have it, so that when it does go down, nobody knows where I'm getting my food and that I even have food, because I can eat food. I can live on food. I can't live on bars of gold, right? And like most people, if you ever watch, like, I like to watch what is that show, The Walking Dead? It's like I love shows like this, like about the end of the world, basically a zombie apocalypse. What happens, and it's like, yeah, like, no matter how much you prepare for stuff, when things go bad, criminals will be everywhere doing whatever criminals do, and whatever you have saved up and they can easily find or they know about, they're just gonna take what you have. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, all these people that they build bunkers and then go on TV and show everybody their bunker, it's like, that's so stupid. If you're gonna do anything, just do it in secret and don't tell anybody that you've done it. Number one, don't tell anybody that you have a cache of weapons or food. Don't, because whoever knows about it is now your enemy whenever it's time to use those things, right? Now you got people you got to worry about, because they got to protect their families too. They got to think about their kids too. They got to eat too. And I love those shows because it shows the true madness of people when things get hard, right? Like the pure evil that was always there, but now because of a bad circumstance. That's what I say, that's what Christianity is. It's like, can you still be a Christian when things are hard? Can you still be a Christian when things are tough, in tough times, when bad things are happening? and you're getting pressed, what's coming out of you? Well, that's what the whole tribulation is about. It's the great wine press of God. You know what I mean? It's pressing us out to see what's in us, what's really in us. And like I don't think the wrath of God is for believers, because that's the grapes of wrath right at the very, very end, right? But I do believe tribulation is for believers, because it's the time of the martyrs and the great harvest. And the harvest is the death of, right? Even the 144,000 that get sealed, they get sealed and they have their ministry, and then they die in the streets and lay there for 3 days before they're resurrected, because the 144,000 are the two witnesses. And so even they die, right? Then the next harvest is the great harvest, and everybody's always talking about the billion soul harvest. It's where you're martyred because you refuse to take the mark of the beast. That's the harvest. That's the great end times harvest. It's a death. It's your head getting chopped off. Then the last harvest is the grapes of wrath, and all those who refused and turned against Jesus, and he just squishes them out and the blood goes up to the horse's bridle. Those are the three, and that's also the marriage supper of the Lamb. So that's the great feast of the Lord. So all the people who got their heads chopped off, and in the 144,000, they're resurrected to rule and reign with Christ for 1,000 years. And the grapes of wrath are squashed out, and that's the marriage supper. And so it's all like Christianity today has done nothing to prepare us for the end times, but has done everything to prepare us for blessings and prosperity. And so there's going to be so many people that are just rudely awoken to the fact that that's not what the Bible says. Oh yeah. Oh girl, there's a you should go on the website and order that 30-year non-perishable food that lasts for 30 years in the buckets. Get you a few of those if you and start planting stuff. Plant some potatoes, things that can, that'll grow through tough times. There's things you can do if you have land and you want to protect yourself, but just don't tell anybody what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. Nobody needs to know but you and your husband, But yeah, be smart about it, because I'm saying there's some crazy people that don't mind taking what you have. Just look at the riots. When you see the disgusting riots and people going out and destroying cities because something happened that they didn't like, and they have no problem vandalizing and destroying businesses that other people have worked years for. But because they don't own anything, and they've never invested their life into something, and they have no work ethic, and they have no morals or scruples, they have no problem burning a city to the ground, right? And that's the type of people that come out in these corrupt times, these evil days, right? And so yeah, those are the type of people you gotta stay away from, and keep, it's like mind your business, keep everything on the DL. Well, anybody else got anything? I know, it's like I need pasta too. Oh, girl, you don't even know. My favorite dish is I get the spaghetti, that's pre-cooked spaghetti in a pouch, and so I just I heat up water in the kettle and I pour it on the pasta and then let it set for a minute until it's already cooked, but then it just heats it up. And then I drain off the hot water and I put in olive oil and Parmesan and some pesto or something with a little flavor in it. And I just I will live on that. Literally, I will live on that for weeks at a time, I get on my little kicks. I'll eat the same thing every day for 3 months at a time, and then I'll switch it up. I've always been like that since I was a kid, so. All right. Well, anyway, if anybody else has anything. Woo, these trucks are so loud. Anyway, yeah, I've been on here for a whole hour now. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. I don't know, it's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I gotta have not tomorrow, but I gotta get a root canal. So I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow, but I think my root canal is in a couple weeks. That's gonna be ugh. So anyway, pray for me. Bye, Katie. I love you guys, and prayers for your family too. All right, love you guys.